everybody, Jennifer McCulloch with Century 21 High Desert, and I'm here today with Mark with Roof Rescue. And you know what, now that I say that, Mark, I don't even think I have your last name. Franklin.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how bad is that, you guys? I've been working with Mark for several years now, and I just know him as Mark from Roof Rescue. So anyway, he's going to talk to us a little bit today about roofs, things to be aware of, things you can watch for, and just kind of some general information that's good to know. So one thing that I wanted to ask you, Mark, was in the wintertime we see a lot of ice dams happening and build up along people's like fascia. You know, when you have those big icicles hanging off your roof and everybody thinks it's super funny and you want to dodge those, it's really not all that funny. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that and what it could cause by not being proactive on how you take care of that.
Absolutely. So ice, as most of us learned in elementary school, when water freezes, it expands. What ice damming is ice will form at the edge of a roof usually or in a bottleneck area, and it traps water behind it. So you've got standing water behind the ice, and then that standing water can freeze, becoming ice, but because it's water, it gets between your shingles or between your metal flashings, sometimes between your flashings and your siding. And when that freezes and expands, it's putting pressure on those items that aren't designed to have pressure put on them. So consistent ice damming, even with protections like ice and water shield and proper flashings, over time can do permanent damage to the roof. If there's big ice buildup, like a couple inches, 3 to 4 inches is not a big deal, but when we start getting 8, 10, 12 inches or thicker of ice, you have two problems. You're going to see standing water, which will find the path of least resistance a lot of the time that's inside your house. And two, as that water freezes, it's going to expand, and anything it's going to expand into, it has a potential to damage. Ice damming has two kind of causes. The first one is a bottleneck. So if you've got a large area of roof draining into a very small spot, then water slows down and it'll freeze there, and then once it freezes, it starts to back up. Okay. That's preventable with heat cable in bottleneck areas, or a lot of the time gutter is that first place it freezes, because aluminum conducts heat very well, which means it's cold outside. If the sun's heating up your roof, the water drips into the aluminum that's the same temperature as the outside air and can instantly freeze, and then that ice starts in the gutter and moves up. Okay. So heat tape is only really advised in gutters and downspouts that have problems with ice damming, and also bottleneck areas. Big areas over long distances of eaves that have the tape up on it, that can be a band-aid for a bigger problem, which is lack of ventilation or lack of insulation. Contact a qualified professional like us at Roof Rescue. If you have consistent ice dam that's not a bottleneck issue and doesn't start inside of a gutter, there's probably another problem with your house, like you need more roof vents or you need better insulation, because the heat from inside the house is causing those problems. Okay.
And you guys, for most people, a lot of people are not going to be able to look at their roof and just know instantly that this is a problem. Some people are aware of it and do the proper things to maintain it. But if you have noticed that you've had these issues in the winter and just didn't really think a lot about it, but now you're kind of wondering like, is there a problem, and could this be a bigger problem in the future? Definitely contact Mark, and we'll make sure that we post his contact information with this video, but contact him and let him come out and take a look at that, because you want to definitely make sure that your roof is lasting as long as possible, and that you're preventing these future issues from taking place. So that being said, Mark, tell us a little bit about some of the common things that you see in our local real estate market happening.
As far as problems we see that we fix, like a lot of the houses we work on are fairly new roofs. Like, there's at one point we did some math and figured out that more than half of the roofs we work on are less than 5 years old.
Oh my gosh.
The biggest problem we see is installation problems, whether it's from an established company not supervising their guys, not quality checking their work, from a brand new guy that just started his company, or for somebody that really doesn't know to begin with, or a company that's growing, sometimes hiring new employees and just doesn't have the management to make sure that they quality control everything. Even our company, we do a whole lot of roofs. We have a great structure of quality control and accountability. Sometimes we still make mistakes. So, but 99% of the time we catch the mistake before the homeowner does, fortunately.
Well, you've been doing this a while, so, you know, now you're seasoned.
Another thing is inspections. Have somebody check on your roof, depending on the type. If it's asphalt or metal, every 3 to 5 years, probably. Just check everything out. If it's wood, at least every 3 years. A lot of wood roofs we have annual maintenance on, so every year we go and do a little bit of work just to maximize its life.
Do you guys also do the ceiling, like on the roof where you have to do the reseating?
That depends on this type of wood roof. If it's a cross-cut shake or shingle that it cuts through the pores of the shingle, it may or may not. Sealing may or may not increase the life of the roof. From my experience, if it's a split shake, which is the most common, sealing it actually lessens the life of the roof. So the fly-by-night guys that'll come through and seal them actually, from what I've seen, are decreasing the life of roofs rather than increasing them.
Okay.
But there are people that would disagree with me. There's both sides of the map and both ways on that. But.
Well, we won't get into that controversy then. We'll leave that argument for another day. But you guys, if you're thinking about listing a property, especially, it might be just wise to have your roof looked at anyway, just to avoid future problems with buyers. Another great thing that Mark is wonderful about is coming and taking a look and seeing if there's anything that could help you on an insurance level, you know, if it could qualify to be replaced and covered by insurance. We know that roofs can be one of the largest costs of owning a home and having to replace, but also a very, very important one. So I think I've used Mark a ton in these situations, and he's fantastic to work with. The companies, he knows how to handle, and it really saves a lot of our clients a lot of stress. So keep that in mind as well. What else? You have any other kind of thoughts, things you would want to share?
As you're buying a home too, like, you know, you're gonna hire a home inspector that's gonna inspect everything from the concrete to the roof. These guys, they're good at what they do. They're licensed. They have to be certified, but they're not experts in any field. So big ticket items, things like your HVAC system, your electrician or your electrical system, your plumbing systems, those are big items, and your roof is too. If the home inspector says have a certified or have a professional look at it, have a professional look at it.
Yeah.
You know, it might cost you another $50 or $100 to have the inspection done, but it might save you tens of thousands in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really good advice. So, so you guys, if you are just wondering, like, gosh, I've never even had my roof looked at, I have no idea. You know, if you can just do some general maintenance and be on top of items as they come about, rather than waiting until you need a full replacement, even though, not that we want to take work away from Mark, but he's great at those. He's also great if you do need a full replacement. So if you reference this video, if you give Roof Rescue a call, and Mark, why don't you just throw your number out?
Yeah, our office is 208-932-8178.
One more time. Just
208-932-8178.
Okay, I'll make sure I post it on here too. But if you call Roof Rescue or you call myself, and I can get you set up with Mark as well, and you reference this video, he will come out and do a free estimate for you and give you some ideas on what to expect and what to
free
plan for.
inspection. Estimates are always free if you know you have a problem, but typically we do charge for inspections. But reference the video or reference, say, Jen referred me, and then we'll do an inspection for you for free.
Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah. So there is a difference between an estimate and an inspection. Yes. So thank you for that. Anyway, you guys, I'm sure you probably have a lot of questions. If you do, please just email me, make a comment on this post, and we'll get you set up and get you to the right person here and get all your questions answered. So thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate you.
Yeah,
he is my go-to, you guys, in real estate, and we appreciate him so much. So thanks for your time.
Yep, thanks, Jen.
Thanks.